Wellness Rhythm Show. Find your rhythm. Live your wellness.
Y'all, let me tell you something embarrassing. Last month, I grabbed what I thought was a high-protein snack bar at the grocery store, felt very proud of myself, and then actually read the label. 4 grams of protein. 4. It had more sugar than a candy bar.
Right. And that is basically the protein conversation in a nutshell, isn't it? Everyone is talking about it, the marketing is everywhere, and yet most people are genuinely confused about what they actually need and why it matters.
And here's the thing, though. This is not just a bodybuilder conversation anymore. The research coming out around protein and how long we live, how well we age, it has genuinely shifted my thinking. Like, this feels important for all of us.
It really does. And today, we are going to cut through the noise on protein and longevity, what the latest science is actually saying, how much you need at different life stages, and how to make it work in a real, non-obsessive way.
So let's just start at the beginning. When we say protein and longevity, what are we actually talking about? Because I think people hear longevity and assume it means living to 110.
Fair point. Longevity in this context really means 2 things. Lifespan, yes, but more importantly, health span. The number of years you spend functioning well, mentally sharp, physically capable, not just alive, but genuinely living.
And protein plays a role in that? Like a real role, not just a fitness magazine role?
A very real role. And the research here is surprisingly robust. Dr. Walter Longo at the University of Southern California has published extensively on this. His work suggests that adequate protein intake, particularly as we age, is directly linked to maintaining muscle mass, metabolic health, and even immune function.
Okay, so let's talk muscle for a second, because I think people, especially women in our audience, hear muscle and think, oh, that's not for me. But this is not about aesthetics, right?
Not at all. Muscle is what researchers now call a metabolic organ. Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, who has done a lot of work on what she calls muscle-centric medicine, describes skeletal muscle as the organ of longevity. It regulates glucose, it supports immune signaling, and it literally keeps you upright and independent as you age.
And here's where it gets personal for me. My mom is in her late 60s and she had a fall last year. Not a bad one, thankfully, but it was a wake-up call. Her doctor told her that her muscle mass was lower than it should be for her age. Nobody had ever talked to her about protein, not once.
That is incredibly common, and honestly, it is a gap in how we talk about nutrition with older adults. The condition is called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, and the Journal of Cachexia. Sarcopenia in muscle has published research showing it affects up to 50% of adults over 80 and begins meaningfully as early as our 40s.
So, for the sandwich generation folks listening, the ones in their 40s and 50s juggling kids and aging parents, this is the moment to start paying attention, not when you are 75.
Exactly. And this brings us to what the actual numbers look like, which is where it gets a bit contentious.
Oh, good. I love a good contention. What is the debate?
So, the standard recommendation from bodies like the World Health Organization has long been 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. But a growing body of research, including work from Dr. Stuart Phillips at McMaster University, argues that this is the minimum to prevent deficiency, not the optimal amount for health and longevity.
What does optimal actually look like then?
Most of the longevity-focused researchers are now landing somewhere between 1.2 and 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight, and higher for older adults and people who exercise regularly. Some researchers, like Dr. Lyon, advocate for closer to 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight, which is considerably more.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of chicken breasts. And honestly, if you are a listener who is not someone who counts every macro, this can feel overwhelming fast.
Right. And I want to be measured here because the research is not entirely settled. Dr. Longo, interestingly, takes a more nuanced position. His Blue Zones research and his work on fasting suggests that very high protein intake, particularly from animal sources, may actually accelerate aging pathways, specifically something called mTOR and IGF-1 signaling in younger adults.
So there is genuine tension in the science. It is not just a simple eat more protein, live longer equation.
Not at all. And this is where I would push back slightly on the more aggressive protein prescriptions you see in fitness culture. The picture seems to be adequate protein matters enormously, but context matters too. Age, source, distribution throughout the day, all of it plays a role.
Let's talk about distribution because this surprised me when I read about it. It is not just how much you eat, it is when you eat it.
Yes, and this is a really practical finding. Research from Dr. Douglas Padden-Jones at the University of Texas suggests that the body can only effectively use roughly 25 to 40 grams of protein for muscle synthesis in a single sitting. So, spreading intake across meals is more effective than loading it all at dinner.
Which is basically what most people do. Big salad for lunch, huge protein dinner, nothing at breakfast.
Precisely. And breakfast is actually the most interesting opportunity. Most people in Western eating patterns get very little protein in the morning. Shifting even 20 to 30 grams to breakfast can have meaningful effects on satiety, muscle maintenance, and energy throughout the day.
Y'all, if you are finding this useful, please do us a huge favor and hit like and subscribe wherever you are listening. It genuinely helps us reach more people who need this kind of practical information.
We really do appreciate it.
So let's bring this to our different listeners for a second. Because a 35-year-old busy parent has different needs than someone who is 60 and thinking about the next chapter.
Great point. For people in their 30s and 40s, the goal is really building the foundation. This is when muscle mass is still relatively easy to maintain and even build with adequate protein and some resistance training. Think of it as investing for the future.
Like a retirement account, but for your body. I actually love that framing.
For people in their 50s and 60s, the research is quite clear that protein needs increase, not decrease, even as overall calorie needs may go down. The body becomes less efficient at processing protein with age, a phenomenon researchers call anabolic resistance. So older adults need more protein to achieve the same muscle-building stimulus.
And for our listeners who are caring for aging parents, this is genuinely useful information to bring to a conversation with their doctor. Not to diagnose anything, but to ask, are we thinking about protein adequacy here?
Absolutely. And on the source question, because this comes up, the research does support that animal proteins, things like eggs, fish, dairy, and lean meats, tend to have better amino acid profiles for muscle synthesis, particularly leucine, which is the key trigger for muscle protein synthesis.
But plant-based eaters are not out of luck here.
Not at all. You simply need to be more intentional about combining sources and often eating somewhat more total protein to hit the same amino acid targets. Legumes, soy, hemp seeds, and quinoa are the standouts. Dr. Longo's research actually favors plant-forward protein sources for the longevity angle, so there is a real case for a mixed approach.
Here's the thing, though. I want to name the practical barrier that I run into personally. Finding quick, real food protein sources that are not just another grilled chicken breast every single day. That is where I fall down.
And I think that is the honest conversation most nutrition content skips. Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, canned fish, hard-boiled eggs, edamame. These are genuinely fast options that do not require meal prepping at 5 a.m. on a Sunday.
Canned sardines, David. You are going to make me eat canned sardines.
Incredibly nutritious. I will not apologize for recommending them.
He will not, y'all. He has zero regrets. Okay, so if someone takes one thing away from today, what is it?
Honestly, it is this. Most people, especially as they hit their 40s and beyond, are probably under-eating protein. And that has real consequences for how they age. The research from Longo, Phillips, Leon, and Padden-Jones all points in the same direction. Getting protein right is not a fitness vanity project. It is a longevity strategy.
And practically speaking, start with breakfast. Add a real protein source tomorrow morning, eggs, Greek yogurt, whatever works for you. And just notice how different the rest of your day feels. Small shift, real impact. That is the whole show right there.
Brilliant point, Emma. Small, consistent, evidence-backed. That is where the results live.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us on the Wellness Rhythm Show. If you have not already, please like and subscribe, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and we will see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves out there, y'all.
And perhaps consider the sardines.
This show is part of the VoxCrea.ai system. If you want a show like this for your organization without building it yourself,
go to voxcreel.ai and request a sample episode.